Hello everyone and welcome to the U16 Eastern Challenge presented by Amherst Toyota. My name is Craig Brett along with Paul Delmotte at Alumni Field on the campus of Mount Allison University. First game is between Nova Scotia in blue and Ontario in red. Nova Scotia just kicked it off and Ontario will start at their own 46.
Just a quick little kick, short kick to the side, trying to keep it away from the returners and limit the gain on the return, with the ball being placed on the 46-yard line.
Here's your starting offense for Team Ontario. Hayden Busick is the starting quarterback. He has Jashi Cater and Ewan Smith in the backfield with him. Cassius Peterson, Peyton Cummings, Isaiah Wallace, and Jackson Wickett are the receivers. Aaron Nodan, Shaden Samuels, Lee Jasper, Carson Metcalf, and Jacob Burns are the O-line. First play met pretty near the line of scrimmage as Cater is wrapped up by the Nova Scotia defense.
Yeah, just a very quick wrap up. Just as he's trying to enter into the gap, it was canceled, and he was limited to a yard in the game.
Here is that Nova Scotia defense. Isaac Curry, Grayson Kendall, Marcellus Young-Casario, and Isaiah Stokes up front. Caden Murphy, Mac Taylor, and Leo Mont are the linebackers. The DBs are Jackson Sparks, Gabe Duffney, Eric Clem, Omeo Thomas, and Isaac Teagles. 2nd and 8 for Ontario on their second play of the game. Busick scrambling to his left, and he is thrown to the turf by Isaac Curry. Give him the quarterback sack, and it'll bring up 3rd and long for Team Ontario.
Yeah, just solid play up front. They're not letting any of the lane. Well, the only lane they opened up there was to allow the defender to get in and tackle the quarterback, but just solid play.
Back to return.
PJ Farah back in punt formation for Team Ontario. Looks like Deshaun Kelly deep for Nova Scotia along with Omeo Thomas. Farah gets the kick away. Bounces in front of Thomas. Thomas has nowhere to go as Kaya Konikov with the tackle for Team Ontario. Nova Scotia will start 1st and 10 at their own 20.
Yeah, Thomas had to let it do a quick little bounce. He got under to secure the football, but good downfield coverage, and he was quickly wrapped up.
Jesse Allison is the starting quarterback for Team Nova Scotia. Curtis Harper and Akeem Gray are in the backfield with him. Aiden Boteau, Deshaun Kelly, Sayre McCollum, and Peyton Flint are the receivers. Luke Fish, Camden Walsh, Lewis Lively, Kai McDonald, and Kai Salter are the O-line. And the first play is a handoff to the receiver, Flint, and the play is strung out. He gets near the line of scrimmage. And that's about it, really. We'll call it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I think just from looking at the mark, maybe he almost got a yard on that one, but just took it out to the outside. They didn't allow him to turn north and south on that, and no gain was really made.
Starting defense for Ontario looks like this. Braden Thompson, Charlie Lawson, Tayshawn Duncan, and Isaac Kaluba-Lakuni up front. Quinn Venesti, Jake Mitchell, and Braden Todorov are the linebackers. A.J. Wiltshire, Cole Summer, Nolan Judge, Liam Massam Barton, and Anthony Crossburn are the DBs. And that was a good play for Ontario, Paul.
Yes, it was a very good play. He tossed the ball over, and it got a bit of a tip up. And it was, just trying to find them on this sheet here.
Was it 32, Crossburn?
32, yeah.
Yeah. So Crossburn pulls that one down and gives Ontario a glorious field position, 1st and 10 at the Nova Scotia 25. We played just over 2 minutes, 12-minute quarters here in the U16 Eastern Challenge. Play action pass, swung out in the flat to Cummings. He's dropped for a very short gain.
Yeah, it was Isaac Teagles who was on that side, just got a sure open field tackle on him and brought him down. limiting them to about 1 yard on the play.
That brings up 2nd and 9 for Team Ontario. Great field position for the home team here in this. I mean, this is being played in New Brunswick, and both these teams, of course, traveling here. But the home team is decided by national seeding. Ontario seeded more highly than is Nova Scotia. 2nd and 9. Team Ontario from the Nova Scotia 24. Busick escapes the rush and then just slides after he crosses the 20. They're going to give him 4 yards, and it'll bring up 3rd and 5.
He got 4 yards, but Mac Taylor was right in there, and just he didn't get a good wrap up on him. He was able to evade that and get the extra yards, but slowed him down enough to allow the line to close up.
Looks like Ontario are keeping the offense out there.
Big 35, make some noise.
3rd down gamble here for Ontario. Busick looks to his right, throws it in the flat, and it's knocked down. Really good tight coverage there by Isaac Teagles, getting a hand in there for Team Nova Scotia to break up the pass and bring up a turnover on downs.
Yeah, Teagles did 2 great plays in a row. He was out there on the side. He was able to get the hand in there and knock down the ball as it was coming in.
Ontario dodge a bullet and take over 1st and 10 at their own 20. Westboro from the that play is strung out as they go with a sweep right side.
Yeah, just a quick pitch back to him. He tried to take it out to the right. They're not being able to string. The defense is definitely being able to string out on either side for both teams, and he just wasn't able to turn the corner and just lost 5 yards on that play.
It'll bring up 2nd and 15 as Flint is in at quarterback right now for Team Nova Scotia. Listed as both a receiver and a QB on the depth chart. Flint rolling to his right, throws it out in the flat to Gray. Gray's angled out of bounds. The gain of about 7. It'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Yeah, he had about 15 yards making on that. Good play. He was out in the flats, received the football, turned upfield, but just wasn't able to make enough yardage.
So the punt team steps onto the field for Team Nova Scotia.
3rd and 8.
Hayden Bouteau is standing near his own 10 to receive the snap. Bit of a sidewinding punt. Bounces out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. They'll mark it right there, actually.
Yeah, just had that bit of a side spin on it. Hit the ground, just quickly shot off to the side with the spin. But move Ontario back a little bit, but they're still in great field position.
Yeah, on the exchange, Ontario starting 15 yards further back than they did in the previous one. Scoreless football game here, 6:14 left in the first quarter. This is the U16 Eastern Challenge presented by Amherst Toyota. Ontario start their 3rd series, 1st and 10 at the Nova Scotia 40-yard line. Hayden Busick hands it off. Jasee Carter gets around the edge, bounces off one would-be tackler, carries 3 more, and bowls his way to an Ontario 1st down, gain of 11 on the play.
And there is a flag on the play, and it was right at the point of attack. There was a hold against Nova Scotia.
Oh, looks like it's going to go back. Oh, hold against Ontario.
Sorry, against Ontario. A hold of the Nova Scotia player is what I was trying to say, and it didn't come out quite right.
Okay, so that negates the gain and pushes Ontario back further 10 yards. It'll be 1st and 20 from the Nova Scotia 50.
I mean, there's one way to get around the corner. Take away the defender.
As the rain starts to fall here at Alumni Field, it's a humid, muggy day in Sackville, New Brunswick, to say the least, Paul. First and 20. So Ontario sort out the receivers. Send 5 of them wide. Busick looks to his right, throws it over the middle. And in the seam is Cassius Peterson. He evades the tackle, gets to the sidelines, and is hauled down inside the 20. That's a 31-yard reception for the Ontario receiver.
Peterson sat right in the middle of that zone, found that nice little open spot, was able to get the football and turn out of the tackle that was coming towards him and get around the corner on that play, giving them a first down.
Oh, they're going to give him another yard. They're going to more like 32. They're almost at the 18. You can tell because there's got some soccer marks there on the field ball. First down, Nova Scotia. First down, Ontario. Inside the Nova Scotia 20. A little bit of a bobble on the exchange. Busick is live to it and falls on the ball. Small loss on the play.
Yeah, when we're talking about it being muggy and rain coming in now, that was just a mess up on the handoff, and the ball went down, and he had to cover up.
2nd and 11.
We'll bring up 2nd and 11. Yeah, it's not just that the ball is wet. It's like everything is wet. Their hands are probably wet. Right. It's trying to.
It's overall just damp.
Yeah, everything is slippery out there. Second and 11. Busick looks left, doesn't like what he sees, steps up, has a little bit of room and has a blocker. He's inside the 10, still on his feet, and he's in for a touchdown, Nova Scotia. Ontario, rather. Touchdown, Ontario. I was waiting for a signal from the far side, but it came from the near side. Put 6 on the board. He
had good solid pressure coming off from the left, from his left side. He evaded that, well, basically led and ran. He had a good blocker on the right side, was able to get around the corner and get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, he had his running back, Cater, out there leading the play. Ryan Goff-Lambert in to attempt the convert out of the hold of Liam Sweeney. They get the ball down, get it back up, and through.
The PAT is good. 7-0.
Makes the score Ontario 7, Nova Scotia 0.
No, they just turned out. They had a couple of bad situations, and they were able to make something of it. And what really happened there was just good thinking by the QB, by Basic, and just getting around that corner and taking in for the touchdown.
So Skylar Wansborough on to perform the kickoff duties. 2 different kickers for Team Ontario, one for the PAT and one for the kickoff. That's okay. As the rain comes down a little harder here in Sackville, New Brunswick. Sidewinding kickoff bounces near the 20. Picked up by Leo Mont, one of the upbacks, and he gets across the 40 to the 41.
No, just a good solid run back, got under the football, secured it, just took it straight north and south on that and see what he could get, and giving Nova Scotia a really good field position.
All right, Allison in at quarterback for this series. Jesse Allison calling the signals for Team Nova Scotia. 1st and 10 from their own 41. Throws it over the middle. And that's sailed beyond the intended receiver, Buteau. And Nolan Judge, the safety for Ontario, was the closest player to it. Ball falls incomplete.
Yeah, it was thrown about 5 yards too far. And luckily for them, the safety didn't quite realize it and wasn't there to get into the football. But definitely a bit of an overthrow.
Yeah, he kind of reacted to the receiver, to the safety, doing the safe thing, but had he kind of hung back, he might have.
It was in his area of responsibility. He went to jump that, but the ball went sailing.
2nd and 10, Nova Scotia from their 41. Little little receiver inside handoff. That went nowhere as Isaac Kalubi Lacuni was there and others for Team Ontario, and Peyton Flint lost about 9 on that one, brings up 3rd and 19.
That was a good example of gap cancellation there. They opened up a running lane and it was just filled. It was like, a wall breaking, and just all they saw was a sea of red.
So that brings Buteau into punt again for Team Nova Scotia. High one, not too deep. This one takes a big high hop, and it's collected there by Adanyo Ivanovic.
I'm going to
Flag
guess
on the play. Probably no yards as he got hit as soon as he touched that football.
Yeah, well, no, also, the way it landed, it was just so short, and everyone kind of got caught in that box.
Yeah, 5 yard.
5 yard, because they were trying to get out of the space, but there was just no time.
So that allowed 5 yards onto the end of the run, and Team Ontario will start 1st and 10 at the Nova Scotia 39. Very similar field position to what they had last time. Last time, that led to 7 points. Busick hands it off to Callum Smith. Smith runs through the middle to just past, just to the 35-yard line. Gain of 4.
Marcellus Young, Casserole just was able to wrap up on him and keep him from breaking free, limiting that run to 5 yards, or just under 5.
We'll call it 2nd and short 6 maybe for Team Ontario. Smith again trying the right side around the edge, gets a good gap, heads to the sideline, and then Caden Murphy makes himself an anchor and stops the run, but not before Ontario get a first down.
You got about 9 yards on that carry. In this case, they were able to string it out and just run behind the blockers and just get to the outside to make the first down yardage.
They spotted at the 29. Check that, 24 of Team Nova Scotia. Fake the handoff to Smith this time, throw the screen back in the other direction to Kedro. Lamar Kedro cuts in field and gets another first down by the looks of it. About 12 on the play. 11 or 12 yards.
Yeah, Teakles and Taylor were in on the sort of the gang tackle of him, but that was after he had gained the first down yardage.
Ontario driving down at the 13 of Nova Scotia. Speaking of driving, that rain is coming down pretty good right now too. Snap goes wandering. Busick gets it. It was nearly scooped up by Murphy for Team Nova Scotia. But big loss on the play. Good Lord, let's do some math on this one, Ball. It looks like a 15-yard loss on that one.
And the ball just sailed over the QB. He just it wasn't even having a chance. It was over his hand height, and he was sent back scurrying, trying to recover that football.
2nd and 26.
So with the official spot, it's closer to 26. So 2nd and 26 for Ontario. Busick under pressure, steps up, gets into the middle, was about to slide, but before he could, he's tackled by Isaac Curry. Gain of about 5 on the play, but there is a penalty marker.
Let's see which way that one's going to go.
What do we got? at holding against Ontario. Question is, do you want to bring up 3rd and 20, or do you want to march them back even more? Nova Scotia said, we'll take the 3rd and a little bit more than 20, 3rd and 21.
Yeah, I mean, there was States had put pressure up the middle, and that took them to the outside, and then that's where the hold ended up happening. But it looks like they're setting out the punting slot.
PJ Farah into punt again. I wouldn't want to be kicking a 32-yard field goal in these conditions, so they're going to take the punting team out, see if they can either pin them or just kick a rouge. That one goes over the head of the returner, Deshaun Kelly, and through the back of the end zone. Put one more point on the board for Ontario, and that was the last play of the first quarter. After 1 quarter play, score Ontario 8, Nova Scotia 0. Amherst Toyota is a proud supporter of hard work, leadership, teamwork, and excellence in our youth. That's why we are dedicated to supporting football, including minor, high school, football NB, and the Mount Allison Mounties. We are proud to welcome you all to Sackville, New Brunswick, the definition of small-town football. Come see why so many people choose Amherst Toyota. This is the U16 Eastern Challenge presented by Amherst Toyota. I'm Craig Brett along with Paul Delmotte at Alumni Field on the campus of Mount Allison University in Sackville, New Brunswick. Let me introduce you to the rest of the crew. Brian Fisher is our producer this afternoon. Greg Ireland, Dave Colley, and Pierre Morin are operating the cameras. And Ian Allen is the site coordinator here at Alumni Field.
Well, we sort of jumped in right at the start of the game, but this is under 16 football. This is the best of the best from each of the provinces, and they're bringing it here, and it's their chance to showcase to a whole bunch of viewers as to what they can do on the football field. The other interesting thing that I've always enjoyed about this is that when they come on the field, they're wearing the colors of the uniform, but the helmets of their home team. So you get a sort of a nice mix of colors and people that on the helmets that are signify how much of an area that they cover.
And just how, like the number of teams are drawn from, how diverse the pool of football playing is in this country, and that's good to see. And I'm telling you, those boys are getting wet out there right now. It is.
Kind of miss the old field at this moment, but
it would be muddy. It would be muddy if this were grass, but it's an artificial surface, field turf here at Alumni Field, due to the generosity of the alumni of Mount Allison University, and I'm sure the players are appreciating that at this moment. Following the Rouge, Nova Scotia start 1st and 10 at their own 35 as we start the second quarter, and as the play gets off, we've got multiple flags.
Yeah, it looks like procedure is the call on that one.
A little bit of edginess there, perhaps, on the illegal procedure. A little bit of a false start by the Nova Scotia offense. I'll move them back 5 yards. It'll bring up 1st and 15 from the 30.
Normally when you see that defensive tackle jump, it's usually seeing movement from the offensive line on the other side.
Yeah. Going, hey, look.
I can move now.
Just in case you folks in stripes didn't see. Jesse Allison in the shotgun. Has Akeem Gray in the backfield with him. Allison throws it up into quadruple coverage, and it's knocked away from Peyton Flint.
Peyton Flint pretty much had a team meeting out in that corner. They knew where the ball was going. They could see where the quarterback was looking, and everyone decided that's the place to be.
Yeah, you had a safety, an outside linebacker, a halfback, and a cornerback all converging. Peyton Flint says, I'm the most popular person on the football field right now. 2nd and 15 for Nova Scotia from their 30. Quick swing pass is broken up in and out of the hands of Buteau. That'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Buteau, quick wrap up by Wemby, Caden Wemby, who just was able to see where that was going up. Those long hitch passes gives you time to adjust out of your position.
That brings the punt team out again for Nova Scotia. It is Buteau. returner is Vankovic for Team Ontario. He's going to stand near center field. And ball bounces right on the C and squibbles away from the returner out of bounds inside the 50-yard line of Team Ontario. They're going to mark it at the 48. Ontario will start on their own side of center as they look to add to their 8-point lead.
He was set up fairly short on that punt, but was able to get the forward roll out of it. You know, sometimes you get that ball on a punt and it'll just do a back check on it, but that one was able to roll and off to the corner. It's actually one of the longer fields that Team Ontario has gotten so far.
Yeah, there was the opening kickoff, and then, a turnover, and then a couple of short punts. So first down Ontario from their own 48. A big hole for the running back. That's Smith with it. He gets through the left side of the offense into the linebacking core and is finally hauled down in the secondary with about a 16-yard gain.
That was normally you said they go through the A or the B or the C gap. There was just the gap. That whole left side of the formation just dissolved. Everyone kind of went back into zone and pass protection. He just ran around the side.
That moves the ball to the 48 of Team Nova Scotia. Smith again does a little stutter step, goes straight up the middle this time, and he's tackled by the middle of the defense. Marcellus Young-Casario first to get hands on, along with.
Looks like we've got a flag
Eagles.
on the flag on the play, and it looks like holding against Team Ontario.
Yep. So the 4 or 5 yard gain will be negated by the penalty. It'll bring up 1st and 20. Move the ball back into the Ontario half of the field at the 53. 52.
It looked like there was a little bit of help opening up that particular lane.
1st and 20. Get a first down. Let's go. Make some noise.
Ontario going with 6 players on the line, as they have Ewan Smith playing as a tight end there right now. Got a flag on the play right at the beginning, a little hitch screen to Kedrow. He turns it inside for a gain of about 8. And we have one of the tacklers, Caden Murphy, is slow to get up.
He just got kind of wrapped up on that tackle, just trying to get in quickly on that. Trying to see what the early indication for that flag is. But they did let the play run. Offside against Nova Scotia.
There's the call. Meanwhile, the attention turns to Caden Murphy, the little linebacker for Team Nova Scotia.
I mean, the tackle looked innocent enough, so he just must have had a bad twist going down or something. But
all right, he's walking off under his own power. Slight grimace, but
favoring his left arm, it seems.
He's been very active in this game. A bit of an important member of that defense. We'll see. Peter Smith appears to be checking in, number 33. To take his place. So it's 1st and 15 right now. It's the 10-yard penalty is partly offset by the 5-yard offside penalty. Ball goes to the 53 of Team Nova Scotia. Cater back at the backfield for Team Ontario. Busick hands it off to him. He's going to go right side. He breaks the first tackle, but Gabe Duffney does enough to slow him down until the cavalry arrives, and they manage to push him out. The gain of about 5 yards.
Yeah, no, he was just trying to get around the corner. He held him up just long enough for them to seal that corner. Still great great 10 yards on the play, but not exactly. They still need another 10.
Yeah. So it brings up 2nd and 10 for Team Ontario. Looked like the quarterback was trying to hand off to the other side. Broken play, he just throws it away. It looked like that handoff was meant to go to one hip, and the running back was on the other. And the quarterback Busick just decides to minimize the damage.
Yeah, I mean he'd been running with Caleb Smith and Mr. Say Carter that was on that side, and he went. I think that was a bit of miscommunication.
So that brings the punt team back out for Team Ontario. And it's Farah, once again, standing near his own 50 to kick this one. We've got 2 returners deep for Nova Scotia. So it's Thomas. Takes him a while to get the handle, and then he is handled, shall we say, by the middle of that punt cover team.
They were staying solidly in their lanes. He the ball came in, he let it slip through his hands. He had to try to pick it up, and by that time there was just nowhere to go, and he'd already touched the ball, so they were committing into the tackles.
I think it was Ben Aroni, number 30, who made the last wrap-up. Having a hard time with those black numbers on the red shirts, me, but, some white outlines, please. Someone please write Football Ontario and have a little pity on the commentators. In any event, Nova Scotia take over 1st and 10 at their own 16. Little quick dump off to, I think it was Gray. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, he received it behind the line of scrimmage and just was able to get a couple more yards. It looks like he may have got 1 yard on the carry, or on the reception.
Yeah, they gave him a yard.
Great group tackle by Team Ontario.
Be 2nd and 19. 2nd and 9, rather. Still 8-0 in favor of Team Ontario. As Jesse Allison tries to get the Ontario offense going, he has a receiver. Bouteau over the middle. He's wiped out immediately.
Well, the one thing he did do is he knew where the yard markers were, because he was right at the first down mark and was able to make that reception, and they've advanced the 6.
Trying to get the number on that truck that him. I think it's probably Thomas Lyo getting credit for the tackle there. So 1st down, Nova Scotia. Hand it off. Trying to get through it all is Gray. He picks his way through virtually the entire Ontario front line to wriggle his way for a gain of 7.
I'm going to call that the pardon me run, because he just was going in between. Get out of my way. I'm going this way. I'm going that way.
It's a good description of it, Paul. It'll bring up 2nd and 3. Ontario breaking their huddle. And now Nova Scotia does the same. Allison back to throw. Has to scramble. And the wet ball falls out of the grip of Curtis Harper.
There's a flag on the play.
And we have a flag.
It came out that spot that you think, which way is he pointing? It was offside.
Offside.
Against Ontario.
Well, 5-yard penalty. There's only 3 needed for the first down, so the Sticks will advance once more for Team Nova Scotia. They'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 39.
You see the flag came out from the side, Judge. It's like offside which way?
1st and 10, Team Nova Scotia.
What just happened? A quick snap, then a quick whistle.
Flag thrown from the far side of the field.
We'll wait and see what we have here.
Procedure.
Legal procedure.
Yeah, normally when you get that whistle at the start of the play, it's usually someone on the offense on that line moving early.
That brings up 1st and 15. As the sky brightens slightly, the rain is still falling. A little less less voluminous than it was a few moments ago. Nova Scotia run with kind of 2 wing backs or 2 H-backs, and they're going to pitch it to one of them, Harper. He goes around the edge and gets to the line of scrimmage, basically. He's stood up by Braden Todorov, and then others show up to finish the job.
Yeah, no, he just tried to take it to the outside, see what he could get on that play. Did he get anything?
Team Ontario.
Oh, they just haven't advanced the...
No, I think he just
2nd and 16.
he lost a yard on that one.
Lost a yard,
Yeah,
okay.
2nd and 16. Allison looking to throw, throws it over the middle. Ooh, and that is nearly picked off as the safety, Nolan Judge, got hands to it. It was a little bit over Aiden Bouteau, the intended receiver. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
Like, I knew where it was going. He committed up forward, and that's the one you kind of look up waiting to see if he's going to do some push-ups, because he looked like the intended receiver on that one.
Yeah. So on 3rd and 16, the punt team comes out for Nova Scotia. Not much rest for poor Aiden Bouteau. He just ran that pattern. Now he has to drop back and kick the ball away. A little bit off the side of the foot. Bounces, gets a good bounce over the the returner and out of bounds as Peyton Flint got a bad hop there.
I did not think the ball was going to go that far, because it just didn't seem to have any oomph behind it as he had to kick forward into it, and just got a really good bounce at the end. And it's been an interesting game. There's about 3 minutes and 49 seconds left in this half of football, and really if Nova Scotia could generate some offense, it would be. I mean, it's still an 8-0 game, so. The Nova Scotia defense is holding up against Ontario, and Ontario's getting some success, but...
So we have a penalty marker on the play. Offside against Team
Ontario.
Against Team Ontario. So if you're Nova Scotia, you can decline this and take the good hop, or you can re-kick. I mean, it was a great hop, but not the best of kicks. And I think they're going to re-kick this one. So it'll be 3rd and 11, and we're going to have another attempt at the punt. So Skylar Wansborough back to return for Team Ontario. Kicks away. Another high one. Wansborough takes it his own 50. Heads out to his right, and he gets to center field no further. Nice shoulder barge tackle there by Eric Clem of Team Nova Scotia.
And a flag just dropped.
And a flag
from the ref's pocket, I think.
So
is that a late substitution?
Anyway, the result of the play would be first down Ontario at center field straight. Let's see what the penalty marker is. It's going against.
Oh, unnecessary roughness, I think.
It looks like unnecessary. What do we got?
In between games, we can transfer it over. There'll be a break in between games.
Legal block.
Okay.
So an illegal block called against the Team Ontario on the return. Yeah.
A double flag.
No, it's a 15-yarder. So 15-yarder, it's what they call a blindside block. So it's a...
Yeah, but if he had it centered, now putting the ball on the 35.
No, they marked it from where he picked the ball up. At
picked the ball up, right.
At the 50. So marked from the beginning of the return, which was at the 50.
I thought it was at the end.
No, it must have been during the return, I guess, is why they called it there. All right, but Ontario handing it off to Cater, and he gets that penalty yardage back, and almost exactly, really, he gets it back to center field.
Gabe Duffney and who was it? Isaac Curry just were the only reason he didn't get much further. I mean, just well run behind his blocks and take to the outside and gets back to that center field mark.
This is the U16 Eastern Challenge presented by Amherst Toyota. 2.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Ontario lead 8-0 and have the ball 1st and 10 at center field. Liam Sweeney in at quarterback for Ontario, and he hands it off to Jashi Cater. And Cater is pushed out of bounds with a short gain. A lot of running, but not a lot of yards gained, maybe 3.
Gabe Duffney just was able to help string that out and get him pushed out of bounds.
And here's a 3-minute warning.
3-minute warning, give him to the benches. Smidgen late, but could have been on the previous play, but that's okay. Sweeney scrambling, throwing it down the rail, and it's broken up by Jackson Sparks of Team Nova Scotia.
Sparks, number 11 from Team Nova Scotia.
Yeah, no, just the whole line collapsed from him. He just bootlegged off to the right side of the formation, signaled to his receiver where he was going, and then tried to get that football out there. But great play by Team Nova Scotia.
That'll bring the punt team onto the field once more for Team Ontario. Fair to boot it away. 2 returners for Nova Scotia. And this one is blocked. Big bull rush by Marcellus Young-Casario. And the punt was actually hit the up back in the back, but he was pushed into it by Casario. I think Casario fell on the loose ball. That was all 93.
Well, 93 was in it, was pushing back the outback, and that corral between the top of the outback and his arms outstretched knocked the ball down and then just quickly crawled forward to get on top of the football. Great way to advance the play.
So Nova Scotia take it 1st and 10 at the Ontario 46, their best field position of the afternoon. Looking to eat into the 8-point deficit, but just under 2 minutes left in the first half. Allison, little crossing route to Deshaun Kelly. Kelly turns upfield and gets a Nova Scotia first down, a gain of 12.
They adapted well to that bull rush. They gave that bit of a screen play out to the flat there on the left side of the formation. No one was around. He was able to comfortably secure the football, turn around, and get extra yards after the catch.
With a great reception, number 37.
So that puts it at the 33-yard line. They hand it off to Gray. Not much doing. He tries to do that, excuse me, pardon me, but this time the red shirts do not part.
In this particular case, it was like, I'll go that. No, I'm going to go that. Oh, no, there's nowhere to go.
Did manage to gain a yard on the play, or maybe a yard and a bit.
2nd and 8.
2nd and about 8.5 for Team Nova Scotia now. They turn the up backs into slot backs. Going deep, and that ball is underthrown and picked off.
Picked off. Team Ontario
Now, this is a situation where you got to come back to the football. It was just, he tried to throw it into the position, but it was underthrown, and you got to lead the receiver. And so in fact, they had two defenders on the inside of him. So it was the worst possible place to place football.
Yeah, Cole Summers hauled that one in for Team Ontario. It was intended for Flint, but yeah, he went deep and the ball went short, and that's never a good outcome for the offense.
If that ball had gotten to the right spot, there was no one between him and the end zone.
Yeah, it was just an underthrown ball. Or some miscommunication on the pattern. Perhaps he was expecting more of an in on the pattern, but
Yeah.
in any event, on the interception, what would have been a good field position for Nova Scotia turned into possession for Team Ontario, and they'll have it at their own 21. Just under a minute left here in the second quarter.
Basically, the drive that Nova Scotia had was all based off of a turnover, and this one, just hand it right back. Just give them a long field.
So Sweeney continues at quarterback. Hayden Busick started, but we've had Liam Sweeney now for a couple series for Team Ontario. I think that's Callum Smith in the backfield with him. Hands it off to Smith. He goes under some tackles, and he carries the Nova Scotia player for about 9 yards.
Yeah, Smith is just able to keep his feet, and especially in these wet conditions, just able to punch through and get yards where there just shouldn't have been yards got.
Yeah, Starson Wynot, who's listed as an RB on the depth chart, was in at linebacker for that play and made the tackle. 2nd and 1. Sweeney goes for a run himself around the edge. He's going to get the first down and some more. Penalty marker at the end as he's hauled down at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, no, I mean, they were hoping, especially with the quarterback going back and out into the bootleg, hoping everyone would lock up into the box there and go for that running play on the short yardage. And he was able to take it to the outside. I'm going to say it was probably something in the tackle. But
Leo Mont made the tackle. They're calling it a horse collar.
Yeah.
So he grabbed him by the top of the shoulder pads. That'll tack 15 yards on to the end of the run.
You can definitely grab on the certain parts of the jersey, but once you start getting up high by the horse collar, they're going to call that one because it puts you in an awkward position during the tackle.
So that moves the ball up to the 54 of Team Ontario. 23.8 seconds with which to work for the team in red. Sweeney with a quick drop and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Lamar Cadreau. Bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, no, he just wasn't able to secure it again, whether it's the wet conditions or not, but it was well-placed football.
That's how you make it nice. Don't throw them under the bus. Okay? Unless it hits them in the numbers. In which case, run them over.
Okay, 2nd and 10. Sweeney dropping back, throwing it out in the flats to his running back, Smith. Smith gets ahead of steam and a first down.
Smith found the spot in the zone. He was able to exploit that. I mean, once he gets ahead of steam, it becomes even harder to bring down.
Thomas and Duffney and others in on the tackle there for Team Nova Scotia. Ball's at the 42. We got a timeout call. 12.5 seconds left on the clock.
Trying to maybe give them a couple of plays there to see if they can get some more points on the board before the half is out.
as the rain has stalled momentarily. It's a good time to air the ball out maybe. Might get a dry one for a moment.
You know, you can test out those deep routes if you want to at this point in time.
So Nova Scotia, they have 2 deep safeties here on this one.
Yeah, looking like the entire, well, the linebacking core and the cornerbacks are spreading out about the mid spot, and you get the cover 2 deep.
Yeah, it's a 4-6-2 defense. We saw this a lot with the Mount House and Mounties 3 years ago. Ball. This is a pretty standard. Let's not give up the deep pass defense. All right, Sweeney takes the snap, hands it off, and Smith is wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage.
A tackle for a loss.
It was Grayson Kendall with the tackle for Team Nova Scotia. 4.1 seconds left on the clock, and we have an injured player. It looks like one of the offensive line for Team Ontario slow to get up. Lee Jasper, I believe.
Yeah, Lee Jasper is the one who's on the field. And he's just kind of got bowled over. The 2 tackles just closed right in on the running back. And, you know, that thing when you're playing that, prepare against a long pass, and your hope when you're giving it to the running back is that they'll be able to get past the D-line. But that door did not open. And they went straight north-south on that. They didn't even take it to the side. So your idea is to try to get through and see then if you can have, when the linebackers try to commit, it leaves more gaps and openings that you can try to run through.
Yeah, if you got those interior linebackers running backwards, you can kind of use their backward momentum here. But, of course, if the D-line stuffs it up, that's what happened there. So Lee is getting back up. That's a good sign. Yeah, twisted something by the looks of things. He's going to walk off. Ontario will have to make a substitution on the O-line. We'll try and see who the new player subbed in is.
Timer. Look at your official there. Right down here, go down. Okay.
Timer is the referee wants to have a chat with the timer. Make sure they got the right numbers on the board. It's kind of important. It could mean the difference between 1 or 2 plays here at the end of the quarter, so they got to get it right.
It's not like they have the mics on them like you see in the pro games, where they just like you hear it over the loudspeakers.
Yeah. So the referee X has to come to the sideline, get the attention of the timer, and then so they want 7.1 on the clock rather than 4.1. It's 2nd and 13 for Ontario. Sweeney dropping back to pass. Now he's forced out of the pocket. Throws it on the run. And that ball is trapped. Ruled incomplete. Down near the 35. Receiver doesn't think so, but there's no replays here.
Yeah, and the official was right on the mark and quickly indicated that there was a bit of a conversation to try to convince them, but that was not going to be taken.
And we also have a penalty marker in the backfield. It was holding against Ontario. That's declined. And with the clock having wound down and the penalty being declined, that is the final play of the first half of football. After 2 quarters of play, the score, Team Ontario 8, Team Nova Scotia 0.
The score is 8.
It's been a back and forth. I mean, we've had a couple of good plays or nice little breakouts, and that they're getting the field position, but then they're getting stopped up, right? And, you know, we've had the one touchdown run off the bootleg, and we've had the and then the rouge from the punt.
Amherst Toyota is a proud supporter of hard work, leadership, teamwork, and excellence in our youth. That's why we are dedicated to supporting football, including minor, high school, football in New Brunswick, and the Mount Allison Mounties. We are proud to welcome you all to Sackville, New Brunswick, the definition of small-town football. Come see why so many people choose Amherst Toyota. I'm Craig Brett. He's Paul Delmont. We'll be back with you in about 9 minutes when the third quarter is about to get underway. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Alumni Field on the campus of Mount Allison University in Sackville, New Brunswick. I'm Craig Brett along with Paul Delmott. This is the U16 Eastern Challenge, sponsored by Amherst Toyota. Your hosts are Football NB. And, Paul, this has been a pretty competitive game played here in the rain in Sackville between two pretty tough teams.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning there, I thought that Team Ontario was going to be taking control, but Team Nova Scotia has been in the fight. They've been limiting their plays. You know, you get a couple of breakup plays here and there, but just nicely balanced teams. And the score is showing that with an 8-0 score here after one half of football.
So the captains are about to meet, and while we do, we need to thank our sponsor once more. Amherst Toyota is a proud supporter of hard work, leadership, teamwork, and excellence in our youth. That's why we are dedicated to supporting football, including minor, high school, football in New Brunswick, and the Mount Allison Mounties. We are proud to welcome you all to Sackville, New Brunswick, the definition of small-town football. Come see why so many people choose Amherst Toyota. Of course, Amherst Toyota is in Amherst, Nova Scotia, just across the border from us here in Sackville, New Brunswick. It's hey, we're right on the border. The two towns, kind of almost twins, really, work together. So it looks like the captains have decided that Team Nova Scotia are going to receive the kickoff to start the second half. They're going to receive it in the east end of Alumni Field. Not a whole lot of wind to speak of, which is unusual for Sackville. But,
yeah, it's just damp. And you know, get a bit of movement from the flag there, but it's not anything that's going to affect the play as much as the wet weather will.
We saw a little bit of that in the first half, Paul. We saw some drop passes, some slippery exchanges on snaps and exchanges to running backs from the quarterback. Stuffed out a couple of promising drives here and there for both teams.
I mean, just so you know, looking at the weather, we've been a bit lucky that the majority of the stuff has gone south of us. Because there have been some thunderstorm watch and heavy rain.
Yeah, and of course, thunder would be the thing that would really put a stop to proceedings here, of course, for obvious reasons.
Rain, not so much. The lightning that comes with the thunder, that'll shut you down. And that's good to see that they do that now with football.
So we're just about to get underway as Skylar Wansborough has the ball on the tee for Team Ontario. Kicks it in the direction of Leo Mont. It slips through his hands. He has to retreat to his own 5 to pick it up. Gets one good block to save his skin. That gets him going up the field, crossing the 15 to about the 17-yard line.
Speaking of not being able to secure the football, he was in the right spot, just couldn't able to squeeze on it, and had to run back, and gave them enough time to get coverage up. But he still got decent yards going back, considering all the lads that were in front of him.
So Jesse Allison leads the Nova Scotia offense back onto the field. The ball is spotted on the 17 officially, and we're ready to get the third quarter a little more underway.
First and 10 for Team Nova Scotia.
Akeem Gray in the backfield for Nova Scotia. Allison looks like he's going to throw it just off to the side, short gain. As Deshaun Kelly, one of the wingbacks, stopped for really no gain on the play.
Yeah, no, he just had to backpedal and try to see any open receiver, and went to his outlet receiver, who was quickly wrapped up on the play.
I think it was Crossborn on the tackle.
He did get...
Wait, no, it's penalty on the play.
A penalty, oh.
It's a penalty marker. Roughing the passer.
Yeah, because he was backpedaling, and he got rid of the football. He must have just gotten laid into it afterwards, because I was following the pass, but I was going, I didn't think he went that far.
15-yard penalty will make those sticks move in a hurry. First down, Nova Scotia from their own 32. Hand it off to Gray. No hole, so he's going to improvise, going to the left side. He's caught by Braden Todorov. And that slows progress enough for the rest of the linebacking crew to come finish the job, and it'll be a gain of 4 on the play. Maybe 3, let's call it 3, actually.
Yeah, just getting to the 35-yard line. But we could see it from this side, and he just had didn't have a lot of place to run, and he made the best he could of that.
Yeah, it could easily have been stopped at the line of scrimmage. All right, now we've got Flint in at the quarterback position. He's running to his left, gets a small seam to run through, gets up to the 40-yard line. Once again, it's Todorov coming from the middle linebacker spot to make the tackle. It'll bring up 3rd and 2.
Yeah, just a little bit short of getting that first down, but was taking it off the left side of the formation, had a bit of decent running room before they wrapped him up.
I'm going to keep the offense out there. 3rd down gamble coming for Team Nova Scotia. Flint in the quarterback position. He's going to run right side, looking for a hole. Gets just enough of a seam to get through. Gain 4 yards and move the sticks for Team Nova Scotia.
Yeah, no, just nice. And take it to the opposite side. Had a good lead blocker ahead of him. Was
Peyton Flint for a total of 5 yards.
I didn't catch the number on that.
So that brings up 1st down Nova Scotia from their own 44. Flint's going to stay in at quarterback. We'll hand it off to the to one of the wingbacks. As that's Lachlan Lamont.
The fly coming way from down the field.
Short gain for Lamont on the play. See what flag's about. It's against Team Nova Scotia.
Looks like there may have been a hold on that.
Okay, we'll see if we're going to get the illegal block.
Illegal block,
That's
okay.
the call. 10-yard penalty assessed against Team Nova Scotia. Bring up 1st and 20. And they'll put Jesse Allison back in at quarterback. Flint seems to be the running quarterback, and Allison the
when you
throwing
see
quarterback.
81 up there, it's like, there's a good chance it might be a run.
Now,
Or at least a bootleg.
Yeah, 81 is still on the field, by the way. He's gone to wide receiver position right now on the wide side of the field. All the other receivers have come back the other way. Swing it out. Whoops, and ball falls incomplete as Akeem Gray couldn't quite squeeze it. That'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, just that little swing pass out to the right side of the formation, and Gray wasn't able to hold on to it. This, especially in weather like this, you really have to focus on getting in the football and then worry about where you're going afterwards. But when you get a lot of good pressure coming up, you start hearing those footsteps very quickly.
Yeah, you don't have a whole lot of time to make your decisions, and when there's a pile of red shirts breathing down your neck, as it were. This time they're going to swing it out the other side, left side, and sure tackling over there by Cole Summers means that Curtis Harper can't get going. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe gained a yard. They'll bring up 3rd and long.
You got to have that blocking up front. Harper he wasn't able to exploit anything there because he was quickly wrapped up. But made a few yards on the play. But when you got to make 20, that's not enough.
No, that first guy, Cole Summers, needs to be blocked. And if he's not, then at minimum he's going to slow the play down enough that help can arrive. All right, Buteau into kick. He's got a lot of English on those punts. Another wobbler in his and Wansborough picked it up with his knee on the ground, and the play was stopped right away.
Yeah, everyone checked up, which was good when they saw the knee. They didn't hear the whistle, but the whistle finally came out. And
so Team Ontario will start 1st and 10 from their own 44 in their first possession of the second half. Ontario lead 8 points to 0.
First and 10, the team.
Hayden Busick back in at quarterback. Play action. Looks like he wanted to throw it. Now it looks like he's going to throw it down the field and knocked down by Eric Clem. He was shaping to pick it off, and the ball kind of sailed on him. And in the end, he just decided to knock it down to prevent the receiver behind him from getting a hand on it.
Well, I mean, Lamar Kidrow had lost his footing and was on the ground, so he did think, okay, I'm going to go try to get this ball, but it's just a little bit too high for him to get his hands on.
So that'll bring up second and 10. There's a lot going on there for just an incompletion ball.
Yeah, no, nice play action pass, and just needed to get the not to have the receiver fall down.
It's a quick hitter, and it's caught by Wansborough.
And Thomas was in there really quick, just timing up the hit just when the football was arriving, limiting any return on that play.
So that'll bring up, looks like they gave him 6 on the play, maybe 7, so we'll call it 3rd and 3. Ontario keep the offense on the field.
The offense is going for it. Make some noise.
Play action, going to swing it back against the grain, and the ball falls to the turf, incomplete. That'll be a turnover on downs.
Teagles was also over there, and he had a beat on him before that. If he got that ball, he wasn't going too much further.
Yeah, Peyton Cummins was the intended receiver on that play for Team Ontario. So Nova Scotia takes over from the previous line of scrimmage, which is the 51 of Team Ontario. Allison at the quarterback position. Sends 5 receivers wide, drops back, gets it out in the flat to Harper. He's hit immediately by Todorov, but does manage to gain about 7 on the play. Bring up 2nd and 3.
Good high percentage play. Harper was in the right spot, secured the football, and turned out to try to get an extra yard or so. But at least gives you a good open playbook as you're into 2nd and short.
All right, Lachlan Lamond, an extra receiver, comes in, and that means we get Peyton Flint in the quarterback position. He tries the right, doesn't like what he sees, tries the left, and now he's on the wrong side of the line of scrimmage and wrestled to the ground by Braden Todorov. Loss on the play of about 3-4 yards to bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, they saw 81. They said oh, it's probably going to be a run. They saw McGray coming off to the side in that lead block, and they just cut inside it, and he's like, I'm going the other way.
Oh, we do have a penalty marker on the play.
First down for Nova Scotia.
Offside assessed against Team Ontario.
And that might have been how that pressure got so close in to the QB on that run to the right side.
So they only needed 3. Penalty is 5, so that's enough for a first down. First down Ontario from the 39 of, first down Nova Scotia from the 39 of Ontario. Here we go, blitz coming. And Allison is thrown to the turf. Ball is out. And picked up by Team Ontario. Liam Messam-Barton on the blitz with the sack and the strip. Didn't quite get the number on the truck that picked it up, but Ontario take it over 1st and 10.
That was just a solid push forward. His biggest thing is he didn't secure that football. He was still sort of holding out. He was kind of backpedaling to see if he could try to get rid of it, and just not going to happen. Just a good solid blitz and sack and recovery by Team Ontario.
5:05 left in the third quarter. Ontario lead 8-0, and they have the ball first and 10 at the Nova Scotia 53 following the turnover. There was not one but two unblocked Ontario players in the backfield on that one. And so, whoops, now we have a penalty marker. What's going on here? Time count, maybe? It's 5 against Ontario.
Because there was it looked like the coach was talking to one of the officials on the sideline there.
Ah, I understand what happened. They didn't have enough players on the field. So they just ran the time clock down and took the 5-yard penalty rather than not having enough players on the field. Especially when one of those players, only 4 of them are offensive linemen, shall we say, that were on the field. So need a little extra protection out there. What? And now they've changed their mind.
They're taking the downs.
Ah, okay, got it. Now what's... Okay.
Discussion with the Nova Scotia coach.
Wait, they're about to snap the ball with 2 officials talking to the Nova Scotia coach.
It's like,
all right.
Play has not been whistled in. You cannot start until play is whistled in.
Now they're... Okay. There's no penalty. First down. There must have been some discussion with the bench about something, some safety issue that led to the time running down. All right. So as we were, first and 10 at the 53. Play action. Pass is caught out in the wide flat by Jackson Wickett. And he goes for about 13 yards and an Ontario first down.
And he just avoided. Like Thomas was beelining to him. It was looking like he was going to do a beautiful outfield tackle and was able to spin out of that tackle and get the extra yardage on that play. Got about 10 more yards out of that. And Thomas knew where the ball was going and just wasn't able to wrap up. But just good, solid play to get out of that grip.
Now Wickett did a good job with the yards after catch there. First down, Ontario. All right, hands it off to Smith. Smith gets through the line of scrimmage, puts his head down, and barrels forward for a gain of about 8.
Yeah, good, solid run, about 9 yards on the play. Just great blocking up front. He was able to follow behind his O-line and get good yardage.
I love the under 16. Smith is jumping up and down in the huddle. He's excited about helping his team out. Second and a yard and a half. Hand it off to Smith again. Big hole right side. Heading into the open field. Carries a couple tacklers down to the 20. As Duffney and Taylor combined for the tackle, but not before Ontario moved the 6.
Just with that typical small running back, but has that low center of gravity, was able to cut, just take it to the outside on that play. And just a good point of acceleration at the line of scrimmage.
15 seconds left in the third quarter with a score of 8-0. This is a close game.
So Cater back in running back position this time for Team Ontario. So they go with the 6 players on the O-line. Pass over the middle is caught by the tight end, Ewan Smith. We got a penalty marker as Smith is hauled down at the 3. We got an ineligible receiver. Was he covered? He's wearing 56. Was he covered is the question. And if he was, and if he wasn't covered, he had to declare.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it.
Yeah, so he was ineligible. They either had to. I saw him there on the end of the line, and I wasn't sure if he was covered or not. You can be eligible and wearing a 56 number, but you have to tell the officials you're out there.
I mean, he is listed down O-line / tight end, and if you don't get that declaration in.
So. In either way, he was ineligible for that and caught the pass. So it comes back, 10-yard penalty. Swing pass to Peterson. And he's tripped up after a gain of about 8.
Looked like Curry got in on the tackle on that one.
We'll bring up 2nd and 12. Ontario looking to add to their 8-point lead at 2nd and long here. Busick has to evade the rush, now throws it over the middle, and ball falls incomplete. And we have a penalty marker saying there's some contact between Jackson Sparks and the intended receiver down there.
Yeah, that was right in the end zone, and they got tangled up with each other. And I think they were both playing the ball, but I'm not sure how if they have a.
It was Peyton Cummings, I think, the intended receiver down there. Let's see what the officials do. Pass interference is the call.
I would check, but there is no way.
So that'll be 10 yards with an automatic first down? Or 15?
This could be anything, because it could be half the distance, because it's inside the 30. Let's see, they're marking, 15. It's 15 and automatic first down. So 1st and goal.
The ball is at the 7-yard line.
At the 7.
For Team Ontario.
All right, hand it off to Smith. He has a gap left side, and he's in for an Ontario touchdown.
That was Smith, just a great run. He was going on the left A gap, just had a nice little running lane in there, and just did a little bit of a solid move and was in the end zone.
That makes it 14-0 with the convert pending. And Calvin Smith has had a variety of open runs on both sides, really. That kind of, is it A gap? Is it B gap? Is it kind of wide? They kind of wash out one side of the Nova Scotia line, and he just picks his gap and goes, right?
Yeah, and again, that speed, the point of acceleration there at the line of scrimmage is just incredible to watch.
Convert's blocked. As Eric Clem, I think, got his mitts on that one for the team in blue. That saves the Nova Scotians a point, and the score remains Ontario 14, Nova Scotia 0 with 1:08 left in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, that ball just didn't get off properly. Hand got up and was knocked down, so it makes it a 2-score game. Mind you, they're 2 touchdown score game.
Yeah. So once again, Skylar Wansborough with the ball on the tee, dead center, 45-yard line. 2 returners back for Nova Scotia. Demar Allison, I think it's the first time we've seen him back there. He's wearing number 20, standing on the 10-yard line. Leo Mont is the other returner. Kick is a little bit short, and it's taken at the 30-yard line by Curtis Harper. He runs right into 3 red shirts at 35. Nova Scotia will start 1st and 10 from there.
Yeah, just not a lot of depth on that one. Harper was able to get in there, and I think they're doing that. They're playing the returners far back, but they've got some good set of hands at that intermediate mark, knowing that the kicks aren't going to be going quite as long today.
So Flint is the quarterback, at least to start this series for Nova Scotia. He's going to throw it. It's a little bit of a tendency breaker. If he can get it away, however, pocket collapsed on him. His first and second reads weren't there. And waving a finger in the air like he just doesn't care is Brett Proudfoot.
First, second, third reads, everything was covered downfield. He stayed in the pocket. That was the point where you have to serve. You see that, by the time you get to that third read, you should be bootlegging out and at least try to get something.
The loss of 8 on the play brings up 2nd and 18. Flint stays in at quarterback, throws it quickly to Harper. He gets the edge, and he's pushed out of bounds fairly quickly, though. Gains maybe 4 or 5 on the play.
Yeah, no, it's...
well, they gave him, actually, they gave him 7.
No, just a nice play. He eluded the first tackle and took it around the corner, and it's still a lot of yards.
So the punt team is going to come out for the team from Nova Scotia. Aiden Bouteau to kick it away. Ivankovic is the returner for Team Ontario. He gets it on a couple of hops, and his momentum takes him out of bounds at the 47.
Sitting determined to get to that football before it popped out of bounds, but didn't really get much more off of it.
So Ontario with good field position once more, starting 1st and 10 at the Nova Scotia 47.
Looks like it'll be the last play of this third quarter football.
Barring penalties or other unusual happenings. Busick sidearms it over the middle. It's caught there by Ryan Goff-Lambert and gains about 5.
Isaac Curry getting in there on the tackle and wrapping him up securely, limiting the yardage on the play.
And with that, that is the end of the third quarter. After 3 quarters of play, the score is Ontario 14, Nova Scotia 0. This is the Under 16 Eastern Football Challenge, sponsored by Amherst Toyota. My name is Craig Brett, along with Paul Delmont at Alumni Field on the campus of Mount Allison University in Sackville, New Brunswick. Our webcast this afternoon is produced by Brian Fisher. Greg Ireland, Dave Colley, and Pierre Moran are operating the cameras, and Ian Allen is the site coordinator here at Alumni Field. We're about to start the fourth quarter of play. 12-minute quarters played here at the U16 level. Ontario has the ball 2nd and 7 in Nova Scotia territory. Busick to throw it. Hands it up and it's picked off. Jackson Sparks has it for Team Nova Scotia at his own 24. And Nova Scotia break up the play and get the football.
Yeah, Ryan Goff-Lambert was the intended receiver on that one. And he was not in position. The defensive back, the Sparks was in there, got his hands up, used that height that he has, and just reeled in the football.
Yeah, he's listed on the chart here is Sparks at 6'2".
Yeah, no, I was just checking that myself because he's one of the taller players out there and he had really, really good reach.
Now, this is U16 football, everyone.
6'2", 170 pounds.
First down, Nova Scotia. Peyton Flint calling signals. He throws a little quick hitter over the middle. to Aiden Bouteau. He gets up to the 30-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play, maybe 7.
Yeah, Pitot just basically being that possession receiver, just coming in on that quick slant and hauling the football to get those, make it second and short.
Flint running this way, that way, has the ball knocked out. Ball still on the turf. I think Ontario were down there first, although there was a scrambling lineman there for Ontario to try to cover it.
Looked like the Team Ontario had the best chance of getting it, but the lineman, I think, may have fought for it and got it.
Yeah, Proudfoot knocked the ball loose for Team Ontario, and Ontario covers it. They're congratulating Isaac Kalubi-Lukumi.
I mean,
but it was a big crowd. Could have been anybody at the bottom of that pile.
They're reading. They see Peyton Flint come out. They're expecting that it's going to be well, you know, they're showing pass, but pass for an option, but as a quarterback option. And he just looked forward, and he was beautifully corralled on either side. And when you see that, you just got to bring the football in tight to your body. And he still had the football out, and they were able to knock it out.
So Ontario take over at the Nova Scotia 25, looking to add to their 14-point lead. Liam Sweeney in at quarterback, hands it off to Cater.
Oh, nice.
Cater bounces it to the right, running to the corner post, and he's in for a touchdown, Ontario.
That was really impressive, especially from where we were. We could fall right behind him as he was going through and seeing where his blocks were and knowing they could just get inside that corner.
Number 25 with a 25-yard touchdown.
So 25-yard run. That's how you get your points off your turnover, is well, on the next play if you can. So in to try the convert is Ryan Goff-Lambert. And this one is blocked right in the chest of the onrushing Mac Taylor.
You know, you always have that person coming off the side. It's all about timing. You get just, I forget, it's like 1.7 seconds you gotta get that ball in the air, and Taylor's just coming in and getting there before as the ball's getting kicked and able to block.
So the score remains Ontario 20, Nova Scotia 0, 10:06 left on the clock. Amherst Toyota is a proud supporter of hard work, leadership, teamwork, and excellence in our youth. That's why we are dedicated to supporting football, including minor, high school, football in New Brunswick, and the Mount Allison Mounties. We are proud to welcome you all to Sackville, New Brunswick, the definition of small town football. Come see why so many people choose Amherst Toyota. Skylar Wansborough with the ball on the tee for Team Ontario. Team Nova Scotia trying to get their right numbers on the field there. I think they had an extra body. A little easier to play that way. Now it's all good. Mont has it for Team Nova Scotia, running it back. Gets a bit of a seam. He's through the middle. Breaks one tackle. Puts his head down as he gets to the 50. Leo Mont with about a 30-yard run back there. And Nova Scotia will start at their own 50.
Just run back, a bull rush run back, you know, basically just daring people to try to tackle him on that one and just eluding a couple of tackles and able to get to the 50-yard line. Great return.
Riker Durning in at quarterback for Team Nova Scotia on this series. And we have a timeout taken by Team Nova Scotia.
Yeah, you got 9 minutes and 44 seconds to try to get 3 touchdowns on the board. But the thing is, they've been getting into these really close positions. Then we're getting the turnovers happening there, and I bet if we had some stats and we looked at it, we could see some decent offense numbers from Team Nova Scotia. They're just not being able to convert.
But anyway, so this is going to be our third quarterback for Nova Scotia. I mean, Flint has been in and out as kind of a tendency-breaking quarterback, but Riker Durning is more of a traditional backup quarterback. He's in there right now. A lot of discussion with the bench. I'm making sure they got the right. Making sure they got the players and the personnel and everything is sorted out. They're going to change receivers too. They're going to bring Sam Lovett into the game. I'm a firm believer in that if a guy comes off the bench late, we might see him into play. This is the thing we often see, and we'll see if Team Ontario has that same inkling. Either that or it's a pretty good decoy. All right, let's see what Riker Durning has up his sleeve on his first play. He's gonna run it to his right. Doesn't have much of a hole as that Ontario line holds their lanes and converge on him. Braden Thompson and others on the tackle there.
They read the run, they broke their coverage, they just according in on that side, on the boundary side, and just where he was hoping to see a bit of a gap on the C gap, it wasn't there.
And that's all we're going to see for Durning for the moment anyway, as Jesse Allison's back in at the quarterback position for Team Nova Scotia. Takes the snap, swings it out left side, in and out of the hands of Curtis Harper. And it falls incomplete.
So close to being a lateral. It's like, is the whistle going to go? Yes, it did go. But I think, especially at this level, they'll tend to err more on the forward pass on that. But it was pretty close. And you got to watch that. The idea behind those passes, you have the blockers up front. You have to, your first thing, secure that football and hope your blockers can take the people out, and then you can see where your gaps are as you run forward.
So Aiden Bouteau to punt once more. Daniel Ivankovic back to receive the punt. He gets this one in the air. Heads off to his right. Gets ahead of steam. And is slowed down by Eric Clem, and that allows the others to come in and finish the job up at the 45-yard line. Ontario start with good field position.
When you can catch it in the air, and you can see that they're starting to collapse towards you, getting out to the outside with the speed that he did worked out really well for him. He was able to get around because on the left side of that formation, they were all collapsing in, and they didn't have any contain on that side.
Ontario starting to pull away here late in the game. William Sweeney stays in at quarterback. They didn't quite have enough people on the field. And here we go. No end on the left side. They're going to run the play anyway. Sweeney throws it up, and it's knocked down by Omeo Thomas. And then
it's definitely going against Team Ontario.
Now whether it's a late substitution or an illegal formation, or just generally having a train wreck out there.
A lot more discussion there as to which way they want to go with this.
Could have called a couple different penalties on that one, I think. There are two flags down. What do we got?
Illegal substitution.
Illegal substitution. Too many men. Declined. What? Procedure's declined. Too many men is accepted. Okay. So Yes, so they're accepting the larger of the two penalties.
Yeah. I was going, why would you decline the too many men and go for illegal?
No, it's the other way around. So it brings up 1st and 20 from the center field stripe. Sweeney rolling to his left, in some trouble, and he's thrown to the turf by Isaac Teagles. Oh, no, check that. That's 46, not 16. Leo Mont. I mean, this guy's a kick returner, so he's got some speed.
Yeah. Leo Mont's having the game.
coming from the linebacking position, and a big sack there. Brings up 2nd and, oh my God, give me my slide rule. I can't figure this one out. That's a long way back.
And that was the epitome of a coverage sack, because he was running out in the bootleg, and there was just no one to get rid of that football to. And Mont was able to capitalize on that.
All right, 33. It's 2nd and 33. I have consulted with the mathematical gods and come up with that answer. 32, according to the official spotter of the ball.
Almost in Amherst.
Yeah. All right, so they're going to try to run. Not a bad idea, but not a whole lot there. The ball's on the turf. And covered by Team Nova Scotia, but I think
his knee was down by the time the...
It looks like Smith was down before the ball came out.
Yes, he just didn't get the opening on that side, and just tried to power through, and was wrapped up.
So a gain of maybe 1.5, 2 on the play. So it brings up 3rd and 30, maybe 31. So the punt team steps on the field for Team Ontario. PJ Farah gets a nice clean snap. It's a good kick away. Oh, off the hands of the returner. Ball's on the turf. And Ontario have the ball. Looks like Braden Zadorov picked it off the turf as O'Meal Thomas couldn't quite get the handle. And Ontario will send their offense back out there.
He just didn't have the right position to get to that football. It was too far forward, so he had to get the hands up. Ended up knocking the ball forward. But the thing is, the moment you do that, you get a dive to that football, and just not quick enough in the reaction on that. And
lost the race to the loose ball.
It's a good way to get back that 30 yards you were missing.
Indeed. Ball at the Nova Scotia 36. Just under 7 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Liam Sweeney calling the signals for Ontario. Hands it off to Cater. Cater's turned sideways, but then reroutes his course. Carries a pile with him to a 1st down.
Marcellus Young-Casero had him. Like, he had him wrapped up, and he was able to pull his legs out and get around the corner on that. But he should have been stopped at the line of scrimmage. Just power back.
So that moves the line of scrimmage inside the 25. Actually, no, just to the 25. Ontario eating some clock here. Play action, they swing it out to Wansborough. He twists his way down inside the 20. Gain of about 6 on the play.
Isaac Curry getting the final wrap-up on that play. Bringing up 2nd and short.
Clock running. That play staying in bounds. A lot you can do on 2nd and 4. Opens up the entire playbook, as they say. They're going to throw it out in the flat. And that's Cummings. He turns the corner, goes down the rail, and he's stopped at the 5-yard line. That was a big first down for Ontario. That Romeo Thomas, I think, with the tackle there for Nova Scotia, but it brings up 1st and goal.
Yeah, Thomas became the brick wall on that one, but Cummings was able to get to the outside and get good speed on him. They're now sitting at 1st and goal.
That was a well-constructed play because they had a lot of receivers over there keeping the halfback busy. You get out in the flat, and the halfback is nowhere to be seen, and you're kind of isolated on the corner right there. Hand it off to Smith, and he goes left side. Well, check that. I saw the green helmet, thought it was Smith. It was the other guy with the green helmet. It was Daniel Ivankovic.
And Mr. Mott was able to do the beginning wrap up on him, secure him, and stop that run.
It's been about 1 maybe on that play. We'll call it 2nd and goal from the 4. Sweeney back to throw. And it's caught in the end zone for a touchdown. Lamar Kedro.
That quick little slant just towards the post. He was there. He was able to break in between the defenders and just a quick pitch and catch.
How do you defend that, Paul? I mean, guy gets body position on the guy lined up against him, inside position. I mean, how do you do it? I mean,
it's such a fast throw, right?
Yeah.
You would just get that slant, and he had a quick release on that, got the football exactly where it had to be, and he secured it. And that's the big thing, is you hope either someone can get an arm in there or hit him as he's receiving the ball.
Convert is up and good. Got that one over the hands and over the crossbar. That makes the score Ontario 27, Nova Scotia 0.
No, just a solid play. That's, I think, the first direct pass into the end zone that we've seen received. And but again, those you go for those high percentage pass. You hope you can get on the inside. Get the proper leverage against the defensive back, which he did. And it's always that. It's actually one of my preferred, when you get that short yardage, that nice little short post almost. Right, just take that slant in just towards the post and hope the post acts to block out one of the defenders.
So another kickoff coming up for Team Ontario. And it's Mont again for Team Nova Scotia, and he gets it out to the 42.
I'm going to say after this game, Mont should be on someone's scouting sheet.
Leo Mont has some speed.
Yeah, I mean, he looks bigger than he is. He's 5'9", 155 pounds. He's at Rocky Lake Junior High School in Bedford, and just a determined player out there, running between linebacking and returning the football.
All right, Riker Durning in there again for Nova Scotia at quarterback. Under 3 minutes remaining. Durning rolling to his right, looking to his right. Has to hold it up under pressure, and finally succumbs to that pressure. Is caught in the backfield by Charlie Lawson.
Yeah, he shedded the first tackle nicely, just trying to get to the outside. But you know that once that first tackle, you got to get rid of that football, one way or the other.
So a loss of 1 on the play. 3-minute warning given to the benches with 2:45 on the clock. 2nd and 11 for Team Nova Scotia. And Allison back in at quarterback. Jesse Allison sizes up situation. That ball was batted down by Braden Thompson. Didn't get to the intended receiver. Curtis Harper, and that'll bring up 3rd and long for Team Nova Scotia.
They were trying to run the screen on that one, and the biggest problem is on the snap. He didn't get a good purchase on the football. By the time he got that, he just had a wobbly flight going out there, so that's got to be got and gone to that person in the flats.
So the punt team on the field. And who's back? Wansboro back to receive this one for Team Ontario. Bit of a high snap to Uto, but he handles it nicely. High kick. Wansboro takes it in the air, heads to his left. Escapes the first tackle, escapes the second tackle, and a third tackle. And he's still going, has some room to the right. Evades the kicker, and then finally runs out of real estate as a flag flies. As it took Eric Clem to corral him up near the 50. We'll see what this flag's all about.
Waynesboro just kept going. And I thought he'd been shot with that first tackle.
There's another flag back at the 35-yard line, the Nova Scotia 35, and one near where the tackle happened, the Nova Scotia 50. All right, let's see what the officials do on this one. They got a lot to think about. Talking it all over. I don't know what the back flag was for. The front flag looked like something was either a late block or something on the tackle. What do we got? All right. Okay, we got a blindside block. And we have an objectionable conduct. That's 25 yards worth of penalties by my count against Team Ontario.
My guess is the second one happened at the end of the play. The first one happened.
First one happened during the play, and the back official saw it, the blindside block. So that's 25 yards in penalties. We got a 10 and a 15 being cumulative. Wait, 50. Let me see. Wait.
Well, it's from where he got the ball. So.
All right.
It's a long way.
It's a long way back. So they move the line of scrimmage back to the 34 of Team Ontario. Ontario have a 27-point lead and the football. William Sweeney scrambling, finally decides to throw it to the Nova Scotia bench. As Isaac Curry was closing in on the sack, he got it past the line of scrimmage. There was a receiver perhaps in the same postcode.
Well, I mean, he did what he had to do on that one. You saw he took the bootleg, he hit the outside. There was no one available down, and he got rid of the football before the tackler got to him. So, good play. Great pressure from Curry.
That brings up 2nd and 10. Sweeney in conversation with his receivers, in particular with Jackson Wickett, wondering what the play is. And Sweeney throws it over the middle, and pulling it out of the sky is Ewan Smith, up near the first down marker. Remember, he was deemed ineligible a while ago. Now we have a penalty marker on the line of scrimmage.
Now is that?
Okay, what do we got? Legal procedure. Okay. Now, there's a couple of reasons for legal procedure. It could have been a legal formation or it could have been motion. I didn't really see any motion on the line.
I'm just trying to figure out what was happening there. If they had not declared, I don't know. He was running from the tight end position, so.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was a type because it wasn't whistle dead right at the start of the play, which normally you see with procedure.
Yeah. They don't have an end on the right side. Now they do. All right.
Timeout. They had to do a timeout on that one.
Yeah, timeout against Ontario. They didn't have a right end. I'm not sure they had 12 players on the field.
I think that was a combination of both.
Yeah, the player who was supposed to have been the right end wasn't on the field. Okay,
Because he came running on, but that was going, you got to take the time out now, you're going to get an illegal sub.
so all right, it'll be second and, did they mark? It'll be second and 15, yep, because of the procedure on the previous play. All right, let's have a look. 5 on the line, yeah, 2 ends. Looks pretty good this time. All right, Sweeney throws it over the middle. It's behind the intended receiver and falls incomplete.
Yeah, I have a feeling that the receiver is supposed to be between the 40 and 45, not the 45 and 50.
Yeah, he's probably supposed to do a little curl in. He just went out
Curl in.
straight go.
Yeah. He went straight go, and where he's supposed to come away from those defensive backs into that open spot, he found the spot between the two defensive backs.
Brings up 3rd and long, and the kick team out again for Team Ontario. Ooh, snap is over the head of P.J. Farah. He just covers it. Down at the 4. It'll be 1st and goal, Team Nova Scotia from there.
Yeah. I have a feeling he forgot about the kick through the end zone rule.
Well, I'm not sure you practice that a lot. Yeah, it's a way to give up a safety.
Well, it's under 16. He's maybe
Yeah.
not quite used to that, but that.
So we call this glorious field position for Team Nova Scotia. All right, revolving door at quarterback brings Jesse Allison back onto the field. 1:43 left. Ball just inside the 5-yard line. They got all right, swing pass is batted down.
There was pressure coming in from the side there, and he was just trying to get out to get the hitch out there, and he was able to block that right up.
Leo Messam Barton coming from the defensive back position. Knock that down, brings up 2nd and goal, all just inside the Ontario 5.
I'm going to guess it's 3-down football right now.
So Gil Colburn is in at running back, and they're going to run a reverse, and not much there for Sam McCowan.
So where did they end up putting that football? Did he get to about the 3?
Well, he got to about 3.5 maybe.
Yeah.
So it's 3rd and goal. They've managed to move it about a yard and a half forward in 2 tries. Team Nova Scotia going to keep the offense out. Give the team and the fans something to cheer about late in this game. Looking to throw it over the middle. And it's caught for a touchdown, Nova Scotia. Aiden Bouteau. There's just a lot of crossers, and he found one.
A lot of crossers, but again, it was that one that comes right in towards by the post there. He was able to secure the football. Oh, a couple of flags coming out after the fact. I'm assuming there was some commentary.
Yeah. Whoa, another one, a 3rd one. It was rain earlier. It's raining nylon right now, Paul. All right, 27-6. Now see what's going on with all these penalties before the convert.
With 1 minute and 9 seconds left.
looking for the man in the white hat to see what he has to say about all this. I think he's talking things over with the players first to kind of. Meanwhile, Nova Scotia lining up for a convert. Oh, here comes the man in the white hat. Objectionable against Ontario. Objectionable against Ontario. So that's two objectionable conduct penalties assessed against Ontario. So that'll be. They're going to assess that on the kickoff, I believe.
Having a little bit of discussion on the sideline there, just to clarify what all the adds and minuses are going to equal. No minuses in this case.
And probably wondering trying to find out what the players did to earn themselves the penalty, as it were. Kick is up. Kick's good. So that makes the score Ontario 27, Nova Scotia 7. 9 left. Now that said, the kick was scrimmaged from the 2.5. So I don't know what was going on about penalties there.
Are they doing? Anyhow.
Anyway, we'll find out
where the kickoff is.
We'll find out where this kickoff is from. It's going to be from somewhere, anywhere between the 45 and the other 45. It looks like they assessed the penalties on the. They assessed the penalties on the convert. Oh no! Here we go. We'll do some walking. Now they're.
So they did one in each, one half the distance, and.
That appears to be what happened. One half distance and the other one 10 yards. Okay, that's a thing. All right, so they'll be kicking off from center field. All right, Sabuto. Put it right in the middle of the field, right in the middle of the big A. Chain gang is nowhere to be seen, but I guess we don't really need them to measure out 10 yards. On this, here comes the onside kick. A little deep and picked up easily by Team Ontario. It's Cater running back, and he's got ahead of steam. And Jashi Cater is on his way to the end zone. Is he going to get there? He's in for a touchdown, Ontario. However, there is a penalty marker on the 45-yard line.
Now, yeah, because there are a bunch of things that sort of happened there, but the same thing we saw before with collapsing on the side. They were committing towards it. He had gotten the football, and they were just coming around. There was just no contain on the right side of the formation.
So let's not put those points on the board yet. We'll see what that penalty's about.
Ball going back to
the 50.
Was there an offside?
I guess Ontario are lined up offside. It's the only thing that you can do on a kickoff like that is if you have somebody within 10 yards before it's kicked. Huh. All right, offside against. You don't see offside against the receiving team on a kickoff very often, but the rule's the rules. And
what it may have been, though, is they kind of jumped forward when thinking that it was going to be a short kick.
Yeah, but you can't do that until the ball's kicked.
Yeah.
And look, there's a Ontario player within 10 yards right now. All right, so he's going to kick this one from the Ontario 50. Okay, so Don't kick it in the general direction of 25, I think is what Nova Scotia is thinking about. But 25 is there on the strong side of the formation for Ontario again. All right, so that touchdown didn't count. Let's see what's going to happen this time. Oh, this time he's going to go deep. And it goes in the end zone. And they're going to run it back. Austin Adair gets near the 10.
And a flag.
And we have a flag. Gabe Duffney with the tackle. And this is just deteriorating into a flag fest here. There's
that longest 3 minutes of football.
Indeed.
Now, they would have the same rule if they take it out of the end zone, they get to the 20. I would guess. No? Oh.
Not on kickoff.
Not on kickoff. Okay.
On a missed field goal, but not on a kickoff.
Oh.
We have holding on the return is the call. And they'll move the ball back to the 1. All right, so it's 1st and 109 for Ontario. And they're going to move the ball to the right-hand hash mark. All right, how many plays are there in the playbook for this one, Paul?
You're not going to want to give up time. There's nowhere to go on that one.
Yeah, you can't really you can't even do the kneel down here.
Yeah.
So you got to try to run it out of your end zone. All right, let's see what Liam Sweeney can do with this one. Hand it off, try to get it out of the end zone. They do, bounce it off. Actually, and with some room to the outside is Ivankovic. And he gets Ontario some breathing room all the way out to the 24-yard line.
Ivankovic, just a great run. You know, they were collapsing towards center, and he just came off the B gap, it looked like, and just took it to the outside and just went bent for leather and got them in great position.
24 yards. Matter of fact,
got
them to a point where if they feel like going into victory formation, they can now.
I mean, the obvious play generally there is either going to be a short pattern pass or a run, and they just collapsed towards center.
All right, they're still in base offense. Sweeney hands it off. Ivankovic again with a head of steam heading to the left side. He's dragged out of bounds by Mac Taylor.
No, Smith this time.
Smith, 27, not 20. They both got those dark helmets.
Smith pulled something there.
Oh yeah, he's not happy. Oh no, I think he's just dancing. Hard to say, really. No, they're going to take him off the field.
Yeah, it looked like just his right leg that he was favoring there. You don't want to mess him up. You want him in that next game. And you only have a few days until that's happening.
That happens on Saturday. Ontario will be in the final to face the winner of this evening's game. It'll happen at 7 o'clock. More on that later. All right, this is Ivankovic back in. And he gets the first down for Team Ontario. Peeling himself off the turf again is Mac Taylor. Working hard to the final whistle, the middle linebacker. Working hard at middle linebacker, I think that's your job description, isn't it? 15.8 left. All right, the Nova Scotia players are already congratulating the opposite numbers to the O-line and D-line, congratulating themselves on a game well played. Looks like Ontario are going into victory formation this time with Sweeney under center. Just going to let the clock wind down. There you go. One final snap. Take an E. That's the ball game. Final score from Alumni Field, Ontario 27, Nova Scotia 7.
Yeah, just solid play. Well, I'm going to say solid play by both teams. Just when it came to getting the points on the board, Team Ontario was able to do it. And a game of turnovers, a game of slippery footballs, but good. We saw good solid play from players on both sides, and some really good prospects looking forward. And it's nice to see this level of football at this age.
Okay, we're gonna stay on air for a few minutes while the teams announce for the awards of MVPs for the two teams. While the teams are shaking hands and getting organized for that, let me remind everyone that this is just the first game of the U16 Eastern Challenge, sponsored by Amherst Toyota. Second game comes up at 7 o'clock this evening. It'll feature Team Quebec and Team New Brunswick. The winner of that game will face Team Ontario in the final on Saturday. The loser will play Team Nova Scotia in the third place game on Saturday. So we'll just keep you. Hopefully, you can stay with us for a few moments while we have the awards presentation, the offensive and defensive MVPs in this game. You've got 3 days between games. You have basically 4 games that are happening, so you have to win your game today to make it into the gold medal or however they rank that. Basically you have the evening game will be first and second on Saturday, and the afternoon game will be for third and fourth. Yeah, so once again on Saturday, the tournament will continue with a game at 4 in the afternoon, the third place game, and a game at 7, the championship game. And the teams are now lining up for the announcement of the awards. And we're starting to see Team New Brunswick and Team Quebec enter on the field for their warm-ups. There's a quick turnaround between now and 7 p.m. So
they don't have a lot of time. I mean,
teams want to get ready.
You've got 45 minutes before the next game starts.
All right, they're just getting ready. The photographers out there.
Be interesting to see where the choices are, selection of the players for this one.
Yeah, there's some great performances all around. There's certainly some names that come to my mind, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Peter Fraser, the head coach of Mount Allison, that will present the awards.
So Peter Fraser, head coach of Mount Allison Mounties, is going to do the honors of presenting the awards to the players.
The winner of the most valuable defensive player of the game award for Nova Scotia.
So first D for Nova.
Nova Scotia is number 45, Isaac Curry.
So Isaac Curry from the D-line gets the defensive MVP for Team Nova Scotia. They're very active in a lot of plays. Some sacks, breaking up some
Between
passes.
45 and 46, you had very active.
Yeah. '93 as well in the middle. Also, by turns the DBs. I thought Nova Scotia did a pretty good shift on defense.
Yeah,
I think it's a strong team, and they held the fort for a long time.
They were getting a lot of tough field positions.
Hayden Bouteau, who caught the touchdown pass. Receiver gets the offensive player of the game for Team Nova Scotia. I mean, it was a tough slog for them on offense. A lot of pressure from the Ontario defense. Also some sure tackling up front. It's hard for them to get any yards after catch and after contact, but Bouteau did manage to wriggle free on a couple of receptions, including a big TD.
The winner of the most valuable defensive player of the game for Ontario is Rodney Bassett to match dedicated Donahue at is number 97, Brent Proudfoot.
Brent Proudfoot with the defensive player of the game, and with some nuisance in the backfield all game. Created some turnovers.
Got some hands up.
Got some hands up. Basically, he was a defensive lineman on fire.
6'4". I think he's the tallest player in the field.
which makes him well suited for knocking down those passes at line of scrimmage.
The winner of the most valuable offensive player of the game for Ontario, le joueur offensif du match de l'équipe Ontario Jesse Carter, number 25.
And Jesse Carter, the running back. His best play of the game was called back. That return touchdown for the on the short kick that was called back for a penalty, but he also had a rushing touchdown and was gained a lot of yards after contact for the running back from Team Ontario.
Thank you for your attendance, ladies and gentlemen.
So that's it for Game 1 of the U16 Eastern Football Challenge, sponsored by Amherst Toyota. Game 2 comes your way at 7 p.m. Until then, on behalf of Brian Fisher, our producer, our camera operators, Greg Ireland, Dave Colley, and Pierre Morin, our site coordinator, Ian Allen, our color commentator, Paul Delmotte, I'm Craig Brett saying thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We'll see you at 7.